What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to talk about and be the owner of some real deal silver. If you are someone that has not gotten started stacking yet, this video is going to be your guide to your first 100 ounces of silver. And if you're someone that has been stacking, maybe you've already passed the 100 ounce silver mark, here's your guide to your next 100 ounces of silver. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos, subscribe to my second channel for bonus videos, and follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. 4 super quick things as we fully dive into the video. Number 1, if you haven't already, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, make sure to try yourself some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to be, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so. And they make it really simple for a new investor to start investing because of how easy it is to learn about the market and navigate on their app. Webull link in the description. 4th and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, airtight tubes and capsules, anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, currency sleeves, microscopes, the list goes on. Any and all stacking supplies, any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. Okay, so in today's video, I wanted to create a little bit of a blueprint to success when it comes to stacking and acquiring yourself your very first 100 ounces of silver. And I'm not talking about going to the coin shop and letting the owner know, hey, I want to buy 100 ounces of silver. This is for the people out there who get a little bit at a time. Maybe you only have a couple $100 a month to work with. Maybe you don't have thousands of dollars to throw down on the table in exchange for some nice and shiny silver. If you do have that ability, God bless you, must be nice. I can't do that, and odds are you can't do that either, because that's not what the average person is able to do. So this is going to be for the average Joe that is considering getting started stacking silver, or maybe your foot is halfway through the door and you're still trying to figure things out and you don't really fully 100% completely totally understand the process or how exactly to get started. That's what I want to talk about in today's video. So let's also do a very quick spot price update. The spot price of silver as I'm recording this video at 12:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, June 15th, 2025. Spot price of silver is $36.23. We're seeing silver barely in the red right now, barely moving in a downward direction. It's actually only down 3 cents as I'm recording this video, or down 0.08%, so hardly down at all. And of course, can't talk about silver without at least mentioning gold. Spot price of gold as I'm filming the video, same time, 12:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, June 15, 2025. Spot price of gold is $3,430.49. Gold is actually up a little bit, a noticeable amount. It's up $46.37, or up 1.37%. So gold standing tall, gold standing strong. So moving forward, let's talk about your very first 100 ounces of silver, or if you're someone that's already been stacking for quite a while, your next 100 ounces of silver. Due to the current spot price, $36 and change, odds are you're probably not going to be able to walk into the coin shop and walk out with each individual troy ounce of silver costing you only $36 and change. You're going to have to factor in a little bit of a premium, $2-3 over spot, for the sake of this video, or for the sake of making math a little bit more simple. We're going to round that up to $40 in grand total. We're looking at, what is that, $3 or almost $4 over spot. Odds are your premiums on your basic generic secondary market rounds or your 90% silver or your generic silver bars probably aren't going to be carrying that high of a premium. You're probably going to be looking at $2 or $3 over spot, not $3 to $4 over spot. But again, we're going to round it up a little bit because that's what I always like to do. I'd rather round up than round down. Play it safe, just a ballpark. Let's call it $40 per troy ounce is your out the door price tag. That's what stack price is. It's spot price plus the average premium equals stack price. So let's call it $40 per troy ounce. And let's just say you want to set a goal for yourself. This time next year, a year from today or a year from this month, you want to have 100 ounces of silver. You want to spend the next roughly 365 days working your way up, little by little by little, working your way up to 100 ounces of silver. Now, spot price is going to fluctuate a little bit, and spot price is a little bit on the higher side over these last couple of weeks. Over the next couple of weeks, I believe we're going to be seeing a little bit of a downtrend. I would like to see $32 an ounce silver again, but who knows what spot price is going to do. Over the next 365 days, it might go up a little bit, might go down a little bit. Let's play it safe and just say that it's going to average $36 an ounce plus a $3 to $4 premium over the next year. $40 an ounce. That would be $4,000 in grand total, approximately, over the next year. So if you want to get 100 ounces of silver over the next year, expect to be forking over, little by little, $4,000. So let's break that down. $4,000. Divide that by 12. How much are you going to be expected to pay on a monthly basis? About $330, maybe $335 for approximately 8 to 9 ounces of silver every single month. If that's something that you believe is doable, if that's something that you believe is workable, if that's something that you believe is achievable in your life, if you have $335 a month that you want to stack silver with, and that's something that you can do, then by all means, maybe this is a realistic goal for you to set. So you take that $330, $335 on a monthly basis, and you go and get yourself 8 to 9 ounces of silver every single month. By the time 12 months go by, you should have 100 ounces of silver. Now that we understand the mathematical breakdown, and assuming that, maybe there are going to be times where spot price is a little bit lower, $32, $33, maybe it goes a little bit higher, $37, $38. We're just averaging things out and using $4,000 in grand total as the ballpark guesstimate how much you're going to have to pay for approximately 100 ounces of silver over the course of a year. But now that we understand that, let's talk about what kind of silver you can be stacking. If you're someone like me, who, for the most part, over the last 7.5 years, for the most part, has prioritized low premium silver. I have always tried to get the best bang for my buck. It has been my goal 95% of the time to get as much physical silver content for the smallest possible dollar amount. And you could do this with basic generic secondary market silver rounds, silver bars, and 90% junk constitutional silver. This is the type of silver that carries lower premiums than other types of silver, like government minted pure silver coins. The American Silver Eagle carries a higher premium. The Canadian Maple Leaf doesn't carry as high of a premium as the Eagle does, but still a higher premium than your generic silver rounds. If you were to get yourself, the Britannia, for example, if you were to get yourself the Kangaroo, or if you were to get yourself a collectible type of silver, something that is obviously going to carry a higher premium because of most likely low mintage. These are going to carry higher premiums. And poured silver carries a higher premium as well because art carries a premium. And poured silver is art at the end of the day. So if you're not really interested in collectible silver coins, if you're not really interested in government minted higher premium coins, if you're not really interested in art made out of silver type of pieces, then disregard those for now. If you want to prioritize lower premium silver and getting more silver for your currency, then generic silver is probably the way to go. And in fact, if you want to crank it up a notch and break down the premiums even more, you can save up a little bit of cash and get yourself a larger denomination piece of silver. You don't have to work with little fractional pieces. You don't have to work with silver dimes, quarters, half dollars. You don't have to work with a bunch of 1 ounce silver rounds and bars. You can save up and get yourself a 10 ounce silver bar. What I've always said about 10 ounce silver bars, or really anything bigger than that, a 20 ounce, 25 ounce, kilo bar, 50 ounce, 100 ounce, whatever. What I've always said about larger pieces of silver like that compared to smaller pieces of silver, 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 5 ounce, things like that, I've always said that it's like going to the grocery store compared to going to the wholesale club. If you go to the grocery store and you get yourself 3 boxes of cereal for however, let's just call it $10, 3 boxes of cereal for $10, or go to the wholesale club and get yourself the same kind of cereal in a larger box, potentially 2.5 times the size of one box at the regular grocery store for half the price. Financially, which one makes more sense? Something that's 2.5 times bigger for half the price of 3 smaller cereal boxes? It only makes sense. So that's how I liken it to larger pieces of silver. And you really start to notice the premiums getting broken down at the 10 ounce mark. The bigger you go, the smaller the premiums are typically going to be. So if you get yourself a generic silver bar, a generic silver 10 ounce bar, you will notice that the price tag attached to it is a lesser dollar amount than if you were to get yourself 10 individual 1 ounce silver bars all totaled up. It's cheaper. 9 times out of 10, it is cheaper to get one 10 ounce silver bar than it is to get 10 1 ounce silver bars. Grocery store versus the wholesale club. It's the same thing either way. You have 10 ounces of silver to the left and 10 ounces of silver to the right, but one costs a little bit more, and it's because of the fractional side of things. Easier to work with, easier to liquidate, one could argue, but a 10 ounce silver bar is not difficult to liquidate in any way, shape, or form. Gotta just play around with the numbers and see which one makes more sense for you. They both have their pros and their cons. But if you are to prioritize breaking down the premiums to the best of your ability and lowering that bar as much as you can, you might want, pun unintended there, lowering the bar. But here's the thing. If you're sticking to getting a certain amount of silver on a monthly basis, or even potentially a weekly or bi-weekly basis, and you're unwilling to hold off a couple of weeks, or a month and a half, 2 months, whatever it takes to save up for a larger piece of silver, then it is what it is. If you want to get 1 ounce denominations, and if that's what you want to run with, there ain't nothing wrong with that either. That's perfectly fine. In fact, I didn't get a single piece of silver above the 1 ounce denomination until probably 11 months deep into stacking. Prior to that, all I picked up were 1 ounce silver coins, rounds, and bars. I started stacking, I believe it was December of 2017, and I remember very specifically November of 2018 is when I got myself my very first 5 ounce bar, my very first 10 ounce bar, and also, not for nothing, my very first bag of 90% silver. Up until that point, the only increment for me and my stack, 1 troy ounce. Nothing bigger, nothing smaller. Took me 11 months to get something of a different size, both smaller and larger. If you want to stick with 1 ounce, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to stick with 10 ounce, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to stack kilo bars and kilo bars only, nothing wrong with that. If you want to stack absolutely nothing but 90% junk constitutional silver, dimes, quarters, half dollars, aka 1/14 of an ounce coins, 1/6 of an ounce coins, 1/3 of an ounce coins, fractional silver, below the 1 troy ounce denomination. Nothing wrong with that either. There's pros and cons to all types of coins, rounds, and bars. And ultimately, at the end of the day, what it really truly comes down to is personal preference and what you can afford. Obviously, the cheapest way to go about it is by picking yourself up, 100-ounce silver bar. 1 big block of silver. If you wanted to get that today, it would cost you, obviously, coming around full circle here, the whole focal point of the video, about $4,000. Actually, probably less, because the premiums would be broken down. But either way, up there. Over $3,700. Do you have $3,700 sitting around to just throw into 1 big block of silver? Probably not. I don't. He doesn't. She doesn't. And I would assume 9 out of 10 of you don't either. The average Joe does not have $3,700, $3,800 just sitting there specifically to throw into a big block of silver. And this video is for the average Joe. You might not have $3,700, $3,800. You might have a couple $100, maybe $1,000 extra. I'm not talking about savings. I'm not talking about an emergency fund. I'm talking about a little bit extra from your most recent couple of paychecks. Maybe you got a couple $100 sitting there. Maybe $50, $100, $300, $500, whatever. And you decide for yourself, after careful consideration and doing your own research, that you want to get involved in the precious metal world. And if that's the case, hopefully this video was informative enough so now that you understand the mathematical side of things and you understand the difference between lower premium, higher premium, and maybe you can kind of form your own opinion based off of this video designed for entertainment and educational purposes. Maybe it helped you figure out, hypothetically, if you were to get started stacking, what type of silver would you go with? Do you want to set a goal for yourself to hit 100 troy ounces of silver, and do you want to put a time frame in there? Maybe you don't have to set a time limit for yourself. Oh, it has to be 12 months from today. It doesn't have to be like that. If it takes you 13, 14, 15 months, who cares? It ain't a race. None of us here watching this video, like Usain Bolt is not watching this video right now. It's not a race. It's not a competition. In fact, what's interesting about the precious metal world is the longer you're stacking silver and gold for, the more you'll realize that this little precious metal community, there's no competition. No one's competing with one another here. Sure, there are some people that are all in on silver. There are other people that are all in on gold for their own reasons. Maybe the hardcore, diehard silver people don't care for gold. And they're like, gold, I don't want gold. Maybe the gold people are like, silver, I don't want silver. Guess what? The gold-focused people are not in competition with the silver-focused people, and vice versa. And obviously, there are some of us who are somewhere in the middle. Maybe we're going about 50-50. Maybe we're going 90-10. Heavier on silver with a little bit of gold, heavier on gold with a little bit of silver. Either way, no one is in competition with one another. No one is sitting around being like, oh yeah, my metal went up more than your metal did, or I got more of the one metal than you got. Like, no one does that. That's not what this is about. Maybe in the car community, it is about literal racing. Maybe in this kind of community, it is about some form of a competition. In the precious metal world, that competition doesn't exist. That's one of my favorite things about it. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. If you have yet to get started stacking, do you think it's realistic for you to be able to get yourself 100 ounces of silver over the next 12 months? Do you think approximately $335 a month towards silver is doable for you? If it is, great. If it's not, doesn't matter. Get half the amount. Get a quarter of the amount. Again, it's not a competition. You don't need to acquire 100 ounces of silver in 1 year. It could take you a little bit longer. Or guess what? You could do it in 8 months if it's doable for you. It's not about getting a certain amount of silver in a certain amount of time. It's about getting what you can get, when you can get it, as much as you're able to get, as often as you're able to get it. You have 100% flexibility here. Or get none at all if you don't want to. Skip a month if that's what you feel like. It's all about you and your life and your finances. How much you're stacking doesn't affect me. How much I'm stacking doesn't affect you. But head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for bonus videos. Follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. And of course, 4 super quick things as we wrap up the video. Number 1, get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the brand new It's a Great Day to Have a Great Day t-shirt and coffee mug. DYDSS store will be linked in the description. 2, if you haven't already, try you out some Celsius Energy. That's right, it's a healthier alternative to the other energy drinks out there. You can get a 12-pack variety pack on Amazon right now. I will leave an affiliate link in the description so you can try out the different flavors. 3, if you're not already investing and you'd like to get started, make sure to download Webull and fund your account. They're going to give you some free stocks just for doing so. And they make it really easy for a new investor to start investing because of how simple it is to navigate on the app and learn about the market. And I do plan on taking 3 people this month in May of 2025. I want to help 3 people learn about the market and help them and guide them through kickstarting their very own investment portfolio. So if you want to be one of those 3, please reach out. And the Webull link will be in the description. 4th and finally, if you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, whether it be airtight tubes and capsules, whether it be anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, currency sleeves, microscopes, the list goes on. Any and all stacking supplies and any and all prepping supplies will be linked in the description for your convenience. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know one more time. If you haven't gotten started stacking silver yet, do you think 100 ounces of silver in a year is doable? Is that workable? Is that achievable? And if you're someone that has already been stacking silver, maybe you've already surpassed the 100 troy ounces of silver mark. Do you think it would be realistic for you to get your next 100 ounces of silver over the next 12 months? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.